Good evening, Palmetto Street. Tonight we want to come to you in a different format from the staff here at Palmetto Street and just share some Christmas memories and tradition. We thought this would be a good way after this past year, the pandemic and various things, just to share from our hearts some experiences from our childhood and some memories that we share in our individual families, but also it makes up our church family. So we want you to enjoy with us, laugh with us, cry with us. I believe you'll probably cry first. You think, Johnny, or maybe? And so, but we're going to have some fun.
I think it's going to be you.
Yeah, probably me. It would probably be me. We're going to have some fun with you tonight and just share some things from our heart. And so, John Mark, why don't we start with you? Why don't you share with us maybe your favorite tradition? I know in Forks, South Carolina, there's a lot of traditions. So share your favorite family tradition at Christmas.
Yes, there are a lot of traditions. Probably my favorite is something we started doing, or I guess I married into, but we go over to Shannon's aunt's house and we fry hot dogs, and then we do like bread on a griddle with some butter and cheese, and so we put the hot dog on the cheese bread and chili all over it and have that for Christmas Eve. So that's become one of my favorite things to do.
And that's a tradition.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Johnny?
So something I haven't done in a while, just with moving around and things like that. But one of the things that we used to do as a family, we would travel either Christmas Eve night or Christmas night, and we would drive through the night all the way to Maryland. So my dad's side of the family is in Maryland, so we would drive all the way through the night to beat traffic and just have a straight shot all the way through, and then get to Maryland and stay there probably about 4 or 5 days. And so we enjoyed going up to see family, but we really enjoyed going to get Maryland crab cakes. And so if you see those on the menu in the South, I apologize to all Southerners. If you see Maryland crab cakes on the menu, they are not truly Maryland crab cakes unless you eat them in Maryland, because it's totally different than what you eat down here. And so we always enjoy doing that. And my love of family, staying in Maryland, and the love of sports, of all the sports teams in Maryland, all come from all of those childhood trips. I mean, every year for years on end, going to Maryland and eating crab cakes and visiting family and going to sports games. So
wow.
Those are my highlights of my childhood years.
Great traditions. Madison?
I guess my favorite childhood tradition was every Christmas Eve we would go plant a peppermint in the yard, and overnight Christmas spirit would turn it into a candy cane. So we'd wake up the next morning and we'd go outside and get the candy cane, and there would be hoof prints all the way up to the candy cane. Wow. So it was pretty special.
Yeah, it's good. Top that.
All right. To me, Christmas is all about family. That's what my traditions revolve around. And traditions have changed over the years, kind of like with Johnny, with us moving away from family and things. But I remember my favorite tradition growing up was my grandpa. On my dad's side, he grew up right beside us, and on every Christmas morning, we would wake up and enjoy all the presents that Santa had given us, and our few from Mom and Dad, and then we would go out there and have breakfast and Christmas with my grandpa and my aunt and uncle and my mom and dad and me and my sister, and that was just something special. And then on Christmas Eve, the day before, we would go and he would chop down a Christmas tree. It was never go to a store and buy one. It wasn't a fake tree. Wow. He was going to go find one, chop it down. We decorated it the night before, and then we got to go out there and enjoy it on Christmas Day. So I really love that memory and treasure that.
That's a great tradition. Mine was Christmas Eve in Society Hill. It seemed like my house, my mom's house, was always the hub for all the Nolans and extended family and people throughout Society Hill. Our food was a little different. It wasn't fried hot dogs, but we did shrimp, low country boil, just different things, like that. So, but also fireworks. For whatever reason, Christmas was never Christmas unless we had fireworks. And so fireworks at our house, I remember one time with a car caught on fire. My sister-in-law just thought it was fun to shoot at the car. I remember one time when the cousins were shooting fireworks at each other. Please do not do that. Only in Society Hill can you get away with that. But I think it was not only the fun of the fireworks and the food, it was people. It was people that were coming over. But Christmas Eve is just that tradition for us. Let me switch gears just a little bit. Let's start on this side. We didn't talk about this, but just go with me. What does Christmas mean to you? I mean, really, what does Christmas mean to you as a person and a family?
Christmas to me, growing up as a kid, it was always about the presents and the excitement of what that brings. But, now that I'm older, that has changed. It's all about the true meaning of Christmas for me and celebrating what Christ did for us. But then outside of that, it's family time. That's
Absolutely.
most valuable to me, and that's what I try to tell the kids here, in our series this all month long, is we get so busy with Christmas and everything that entails that we really take time, we forget to take time to remember what Christmas is truly all about.
Absolutely. Madison?
I hate to piggyback off of that, but it's just about the same. I know as a kid, you are excited. You're out of school. You have 2 weeks off. It's all about what you're going to get for Christmas and showing your cousins and your friends and all that. But now it's definitely the true meaning of Christmas and the birth of Christ, but then also spending time with family. I love to give gifts.
Absolutely.
Sometimes I get a little carried away, but I love to give gifts, spend time with family and friends, and just really sit back and reflect on the year and just time together and cherish those moments because we get so busy in life. Sometimes we forget to sit back and really think about what the Lord's done for us and the people around us, what they mean. So that's kind of what I like to take this time for.
I agree. John?
As a new dad, it's kind of changed my perspective on a lot of things, and so we've kind of changed perspective on that to where as kids we look forward to the gifts, and as we get older we focus on the meaning of Christmas and all those things. But the last couple years has been looking at it through a different perspective of to where we're looking at giving gifts to others in our family, but really looking how Cal will respond to Christmas and the season and the lights and everything that goes along with it, and the cookies and the chocolate covered pretzels and all the things that go along with that, and just seeing Christmas through his eyes and how he's learning through that.
Oh, absolutely.
And so it's been incredible to see that this is our second Christmas with him now, and so besides traveling to see all family and everything like that, to see how he responds on Christmas morning and how he responds to everything that goes along with it. And so that's really the new perspective that we have.
And it just gets better as they get older.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
becomes more magical.
Jessica's like, do not wake the boys up, because I'm excited about to see what Santa Claus brought to them. So I'm like, is it time? It's 4 o'clock in the morning. She's like, please, But it's that excitement of seeing our boys get to experience Christmas. And all this comes back from the Christ child that was sent to us. God, the greatest giver. James says every gift comes from him, every perfect gift.
I couldn't help but when we talked, not yesterday, our candlelight service, when Jessica was singing Baby Changes Everything, did an incredible job. But then, you really think about that, especially having a baby that's a little more than a year and a half, and it's like, oh my gosh, it really does change everything, all the above.
John Mark?
Well, it's really all about eating sweets. Let's just be honest for a few minutes. That's what it all is eating sweets. No, I think it changes as the oldest one here. It does change. I remember getting gifts from my parents and Santa and my grandmothers, going to their house. I couldn't wait to go from one house to the next to get gifts. And then it becomes, having a kid, it becomes all about them getting gifts and all that kind of stuff. And then it changes to giving gifts. When you find that perfect gift for someone else, it really gives you a warm feeling. But in all that, it's really just family and friends, spending time with family and friends and getting to see them. A lot of times you don't get to see them, especially if they live away from you. You don't get to see them as much. So to get to spend some time with them is always pretty cool.
Absolutely. And change up just a little bit here, just flow with me. One thing as a pastor, one of the great things we do is walk with people through trials and crisis. It's the beauty of pastoral ministry. And everybody you see here on stage are true pastors. We love people. It's not about numbers or religion, it's about people. But also, when you pastor a church, especially our size, the amount of people that we walk with, this past week we had 5 funerals connected to our church. One was my uncle. I preached my uncle's funeral Sunday afternoon. So this is a big curveball. I want you to share with me maybe the one person that's not with you now, that you really miss in the Christmas season. The reason I want to do that is because some of you, this year, you've lost a loved one. And I want you to recognize that we've been there too. And I want you to know that you're not alone, especially the pastoral staff. But even more important than that, the Holy Spirit, the God of all comfort, walks with you. But I want you to see our humanity here. So John Mark, maybe that one person that, that marked your mind as a child, a family member, or a friend that you really miss at Christmas.
Well, I can't really say. I can't narrow it down because they're both incredible ladies. But both my grandmothers, I never knew my grandfathers, but my grandmothers were a big part of my life growing up, and they've been dead for some time now. So going to their house and eating, because they really could cook. I mean, really, one of them made an incredible caramel cake, and the other one made birthday cakes for everybody. And so she always had a refrigerator full of icing. So I guess that's where my sweet tooth comes from. I don't know. But they were just incredible women, and just poured so much into my life. So they're both gone now, but I do cherish those memories and those times with them.
Johnny?
I want to have two people as well, because here recently I received a Christmas gift from Taylor that her sister portrayed, and with us having Cal March of 2019 and family traditions and traveling and things like that, my junior and senior year of college, I lost two family members, one my junior year, one my senior year. Leading up to marriage and life change and everything else. So it's been hard, obviously, during the holiday seasons to have them miss. And one was my grandfather, and then my uncle passed away my senior year of college, and just months before Taylor and I were married. And so we received a gift from Taylor that her sister, she's an incredible artist, drew and sketched with my uncle, my grandfather, and then Calvin right in the middle.
Wow.
And so it's an incredible picture. Check my Facebook in a few days. I'm finally going to release that picture. But so having those two great men not be in our lives anymore, in this season's tough. One, my grandfather, to where we would just walk right next door and he would be there to sit, hang out, just goof off with. And then my uncle was more like an older brother. We stayed in the same room for part of my childhood, and so to not have them in the Christmas season and the holiday season, and even now that Cal's growing up, and so it's a tough season to do that. But you got your family and loved ones surrounding you with them, and then to see the gift that was given, it just puts it all into perspective.
Wow. Madison?
I have two as well. It's hard.
Let's change this question. What are the two people? No, go ahead.
You can't pick. But mine would probably be my Mima and my aunt. They both, I look back now, and unfortunately I see the time that I took for granted, and I wish that I could just have one more Christmas with them. But they both were very special ladies in their own way. And my Mima was a firecracker, so she was definitely one of those that you love, but you're like, at the same time, oh, Mima, what is she going to think? Because she did not hesitate to tell you what she thought, but she was the best cook, and I just wish that I now could spend one more Christmas with her to really tell her how much I love her and appreciate. And my Aunt Tammy, she always made the pumpkin pie for Christmas and Thanksgiving, and every holiday that was her specialty. And I don't know if anybody else enjoys a back tickle or your arms tickled or anything, but that was her best gift that she gave, and I enjoyed it. Don't hate it. Don't knock it till you try it, okay? And that was her best gift. She always, every time she would come over, she would do that, and it was just awesome. So I wish I could have one more moment with her too.
Yeah.
I think the guy that I miss the most in my family is I talked about earlier, my grandpa, who lived beside me. His name was Henry Coles, my dad's dad, and we actually named Knox, his middle name, after him because he was so influential in my life. If we weren't on vacation, I saw him every day of my life. Wow. Because he lived right beside us. I spent after school with him. He went to our church growing up. I mean, literally every day of my life I saw my grandpa. And I just miss those memories of us working in the garden, together. He would sit around. He was a World War II vet.
Wow.
And so there was always stories from the war and growing up during that time. But he was just a man who loved us and cared about us. He never had much. He worked in a cotton mill growing up and didn't have a lot, but he spoiled me and my sister. But most greatest thing that he gave us was he showed us what it is to love and to be a true man who pursued God. I remember as a kid being outside playing until my parents had to drag me into the house, and it'd be pitch dark, but I would see one light on in his house beside us, and it wasn't because he was watching TV. It wasn't that. He was always reading his Bible, and he was praying, and I knew what that one light was on for, and it'd be on till 10, 11 o'clock, and I knew that's what was on, and those are the memories that I treasure and I miss, especially this time of year with him.
What a legacy. I'd like to have a conversation with my sister. I was 21 when she passed. My Uncle Leon just passed away. I would love to have one more Christmas with him unexpectedly. But really, my mama, and I'm not going to cry, so don't start. My mama was awesome, true servant. She was a candy cane. That was her big thing. She used to give my mom these huge candy canes at Christmas. And what I didn't realize was back when they were children, the gifts that we give now, they were not able to get or give, receive or give. And so fruit and candy canes were big, or pies or cakes. So my mama, hers was candy canes. I'd love to get one more candy cane. I'm about to cry, my goodness. And my papa was fruit. You could give him $1 million or a fruit basket or a fruit bag. You remember the churches used to do the fruit bags? If you would bring him a fruit bag from church, you were the best grandchild. It was something about getting an orange and an apple to them. I'd love to have them two back. My papa would drive his little Ford pickup truck up and come in, and I'd love to have that one more time. Amen. If you lost a loved one this year, we want you to know that we miss ours too, and you're not alone. We want to continue to walk with you as a pastoral staff because we love you. And you're not going to walk this road alone. The Holy Spirit's with you. And you have a church that's going to walk with you as well. Let's switch gears one more time. I want to have some fun here. Favorite memory, favorite gift you receive, or both? We have time here. Let's go, John Mark. Favorite memory or gift?
Okay, so it won't sound like a favorite memory, but it is. We lived way out in the country in Fort, South Carolina, and so I would get out of school and be home, by myself before my parents could drive home from work. And so I plundered through the house, and I remember finding a football in my dad's closet.
Yeah.
And so I got the football out and I played with it. And, back in the country, you had to, kind of entertain yourself. So I would punt it and catch it, throw it and catch it, score all the touchdowns, and did everything. And so I put it back in the box every time. And then Christmas, my dad gave it to me, and I opened it, and I was excited until I realized it had a bunch of scuff marks and dirt and grass stains on it. And then my dad saw them, and so I got in a little bit of trouble. But it was just a fun time, it was a fun moment with my family, and they changed things after that.
Yeah. They locked that door down. Yeah.
But it was still fun. I still have a lot of fun memories of that Christmas.
Wow.
I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I guess it's just like a coming of age memory for some reason. We talked about going to Maryland, each Christmas earlier, and we would normally drive late at night. I would hate to do that now for some reason, but as a kid, it was just like a big thing that we would leave at 8 p.m. and then get there at like 6 a.m. So it was, while sleeping. But as you got older, and I became 16, 17, and learning how to drive, and I was a decent driver, and I guess I was decent enough in my parents' eyes to where it became a big deal to where I would help drive on those trips. And so it was just, I just felt like pride in this big, Cal probably won't get that opportunity either. But for some reason, I got the opportunity. I guess my dad was just tired enough to allow me to drive. And so it was kind of a coming of age moment to where like I'm 16, 17 years old, and I get to drive overnight on the interstate on the way to Maryland to family vacation during Christmas. And so it was that just sticks out to me like, okay, I'm a driver and I can drive to Maryland, and I love doing that. So.
Wow. That's
My favorite Christmas gift, I'll go with, it actually changed. I remembered one. I grew up in the big town of Marion, if you're familiar with where that is.
Swamp
And
Fox.
so, the only thing to do was go to the skating rink. So I grew up every Friday.
There's a
and
skating ring in Marion?
There's
Oh,
two.
wow.
So
Wow.
every Friday and Saturday night, me and my brothers and all my friends, we went skating every single weekend religiously. And so I actually broke my arm one time at the skating rink with some rental skates that were rinky-dinky. And so for Christmas that year, I got my own brand new pair of skates, and back then a skate box was the thing, and I still have it now. You can ask John Mark and Johnny.
She does still have it.
It's
She does
pink,
still have
it has my name on it, and it has a Clemson ball on it. And I still have those skates, and I can still fit them. And I still go to the skate rink, and I walk in with my skate box. They give me a hard time, but I'm like, guess who has their own skates and doesn't have to rent them? Me.
Next staff meeting's going to be at the skating rink. That's what
Listen, we took the youth skating like a Sunday afternoon, and I mean we hadn't been skating before. Madison shows up with her own box. You know, she's walking in. I'm like, she's tough. She gets out there twirling and going backwards and everything. I'm like, oh, go ahead. Marion, South Carolina, right there. Marion, South Carolina.
We did the same thing not long after we were here, and she was impressive, but don't get her on the carpet. Don't get her on the carpet. That we almost witnessed Madison.
wow.
Yeah, he would be looking as soon as it happened. You look to see if anybody saw, what just about happened. And Johnny was like, "Yep, I saw it."
Yeah, we
and I was
saw
like,
it.
"Thanks, Johnny."
Eric,
All right, I think my greatest memory, it happened every year growing up on my mom's grandparents' side. We did Christmas Eve with them, and when we opened up presents, it was always, you always leave the trash in the floor. And it was, everybody did. Nobody touched it, nobody bagged it up, and it was for a reason, because all my cousins, we would bury ourselves in
That's
and
awesome.
play for what seemed like an hour afterwards. But I remember one specific year that my youngest first cousin, I was buried under all that paper, and just like any family, we had just ate a big meal. Okay, so here I am, laid on my back, can't see me, I'm under that, and my little cousin jumps in the big pile while I'm underneath it. Well, I passed gas, like really loud. And my little cousin, it scared him to death.
I didn't see that one coming. Did you see that? I didn't see that coming.
He would not talk to me for months. He was terrified of me. And so that's a lasting Christmas joke in my family, that my cousin was scared of me because he jumped on me in the middle of the Christmas wrapping paper, and I passed gas from
I
our
didn't
meal.
see it coming. I
We
didn't
just
see it
made you
coming.
two.
We
We just made you two right there. We just made you two.
I did. That's them upstate people right there, buddy. You hear me? I never forget. I guess my dad got a little raise, and so one Christmas we came back home and he bought me and my brothers these 270 hunting rifles, Browning. And so that was a great Christmas because other times at Christmas it was a little leaner, and so that was pretty special. On a funny note, my grandmother, once again, my mama was a saint, and my grandfather passed away in 1977. And this is, I guess, early 2000s. She's just lived by herself, was a caretaker, but she started dating a man in Society Hill named Mr. Harvey Gandy. He's then gone on to be with the Lord, was a true saint, both of them. And it was just this sweet older couple dating companionship. They would go out to eat. Is it Long John Silver's, the little fish place? Yeah, that's where I'd like to go. But anyway, at my Aunt Bunny's house in Darlington, I will never forget this as a 21-year-old. On that Christmas, we didn't know, as they say it, we didn't know he was going to ask her to marry him. And nobody needs to see their grandma kiss another man when they're getting engaged. And so he asked my grandmother, and on one hand, it was like, what is happening? You know what I mean? But on the other hand, it was so beautiful because my grandma had found love, and it's just something that we cherished, and we look back now. You know what I mean? It's sweet people, and both of them done gone on to be with the Lord, but it's a beautiful memory etched in my mind. So it's a little different, but this is etched in my mind. Also, just by the way, my mama always was special to always have an extra gift for me and my little brother at Christmas. So right before you would go to bed on Christmas night, she would say, Santa's left you one more gift, and Santa Claus just knew what I wanted. Because always it would be an extra gift. And so that's like my mom saying a little extra love. And mamas can do that, right? See, I'm not crying. Look at there. So, yeah. Anything else, guys, before we close? Anything else about Christmas? Yeah, we'll sing. We'll sing in a moment. Anything, John Mark, anything else? Johnny?
Maybe if you guys want to interact with us tonight, maybe put your favorite meal, Christmas meal. I know we always have to have biscuits and gravy when we're with my parents' side of the family, and ham. And so, like,
Always ham.
We have something different on Thanksgiving, but on Christmas it's ham and then biscuits and gravy in the morning. So maybe if you want to share with us in the comments your favorite Christmas meal or something that you have to have on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, either one.
Hey, by the way, real quick, we're talking a lot about food. I guess food, it's biblical. By the way, just to get a little biblical here, communion, acts, they broke bread at the table, the common table, all were accepted in Christ. No more slave, free, Jew, Gentile, rich, poor. The table, they shared, right? So I want to do this. Give me the food that you don't like that everybody else likes at Christmas. Anything? What is it?
Cranberry sauce.
Oh, my man, right here, right
Sorry,
here.
Madison.
No.
I agree with that one, but I hate those deviled eggs.
I know,
things,
I like deviled eggs.
And I hate ham. I hate ham. Disgusting.
What's wrong with that boy? What's wrong with him? Madison?
I'm pretty sure I don't have one. I think everything that my family cooks, I pretty much eat.
John Mark?
Probably no cranberry sauce, and I skip collards usually. I don't
like
eat a lot of
collards. I like collards.
I usually skip that. Trying to think. I pretty much. I'm not real shy. I think when I was younger, I probably didn't eat a lot.
Yeah.
I do remember. I think they call it a pear salad, like the pear with a little mayonnaise and the cheese on it. I do. I remember those. I love those.
No.
Love those.
My mom makes this cheese ball that everybody wants. Yeah, Aiden loves it. Aiden eat the whole thing by himself. That's not me. I don't know. Yeah, so, all right, guys, thank you for joining with us tonight. We're going to sing just a little bit. Madison is going to lead us in a chorus or something. It's meant to be funny, so do not judge us on singing. By the way, we just wanted to share from the pastoral staff and team here. First of all, we're honored to pastor you. And for those of you that are watching online with us from Sunday to Sunday, if you don't have a church home, even though you can't make it to the building, you're still part of us, and we want to pastor you. And we want to pastor you better. So if you can just find a way, we have many ways, don't we, Johnny, for them to reach us, reach out. Don't feel alarmed. Even if you're in another town, don't think we can't pastor you even an hour, 2 hours away. With technology and with the staff we have, we will make sure that we do our best to meet the needs you have. We want to pastor you. We've spent a lot of money through technology to reach you. And we want to share with you what we feel like is the love of the Lord. He's made a difference in our life, and He can make a difference in yours. And also, we want to share just from our stories, our laughter. We wanted you to enjoy Christmas memories with us. And nobody even talked about what you wear at Christmas. I remember Mom always buying us the onesies. Anybody remember the onesies? The stockings with the feet. I hated those things, by the way. No pictures. There's
Miss Billy, if you're watching. Miss Billy, if you're watching.
Leave one in the
We
comments.
would love to see some pictures.
I promise
Pastor
you.
Nolan.
Yeah, I promise you. And by the way, the one gift I got at Christmas that I wanted, but I realized I didn't need, I wanted a dog one time, and I named my dog Montana after Joe Montana. I love Joe Montana. And about 3 days into it, I realized somebody's got to feed him. I gave that Christmas gift back. So, I can have that. All right, guys, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Please. If anything this last year has taught us, enjoy your family. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. But to be honest with you, the next few days, why don't you enjoy your family? Turn your phone off. Forget about even the game on TV. Forget about your job. It will be there next week. Enjoy your families. You don't know. This might be the last time that you have Christmas with that person sitting beside you right across from the table. Enjoy your families. Forgive each other. Love each other. And we want you to know we love you and Merry Christmas. All right, Madison, let's go.
We just want to wish you a Merry Christmas. So everybody together.
What key?
Yeah, what
All
key?
of
I need to
them.
know what
Everybody
key.
just take a different
I
one.
need to know what key.
We'll split into parts on the last word,
I
okay?
need some
Who do I
water
need to
too.
mute?
I need some water.
All right, ready? We wish you a Merry Christmas. We
Wish you a Merry
Christmas.
We wish you a Merry Christmas
and a Happy New Year.
God bless you. Merry
Good night,
Christmas.
everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Love you guys.
Merry Christmas.
Love you.